Well, hey there, everybody. It's another edition of Business Beat. I'm Sanford Cohen, Chairman of the Board of the Prescott Chamber of Commerce, and
I'm Sherry Heine, President and CEO of the Prescott Chamber.
we are here to get you up to date on what's going on that affects everything in the business world in Prescott. And we've got lots of events to talk about, a huge campaign that is now underway, and also some other items of note. So lots going on the Business Beat.
Absolutely.
So on today's Business Beat, not only will we find out about those events, but also we have a special guest, and it's all about money. We've got Cheryl Rolland going to be joining us from the Foothills Bank to talk about their new acquisition and their future plans, because here on Business Beat, we're all about growth. And the growth of the business community in Prescott is quite strong. And so we have a lot of good news to bring to you at home.
But at this time, I think we should talk about all the upcoming events and some celebrations that are going on right now, Sanford.
Yes, indeedy. Well, the fact that it is the month of November, this is where, people are starting to think about the holidays and stuff like that. But we've got lots more on the schedule before that, starting early in the month, right?
Absolutely. I'm going to run down the list here very quickly, but first I want to talk a little bit about our calendar of events, which is available at the Visitor Center. We print over 30,000 copies of this piece, the marketing piece, that goes out to all of our visitors and the residents and everything. And November 2nd really kind of starts to kick things off for the holidays with the Jersey Lily Friends of the Jersey Lily kickoff for fundraising for the courthouse lighting, Sanford.
And they are responsible for a goodly amount of money that goes towards what has become one of the state of Arizona's signature events.
Absolutely. They help us raise well over $30,000, and we need all that money, and it's all just friends of the Jersey Lily that raises these
So
funds.
Once you do that, how about we have a parade?
Hey, that sounds like fun. We actually, the courthouse lighting and the Christmas parade are scheduled for December 2nd. The parade starts at 1 o'clock and the courthouse lighting starts at 6 p.m. So we're very excited about that. And having the Friends kick it off on November 2nd is a perfect opportunity for everyone to get started with the holiday spirit.
One of the parades that has been kind of smaller in scope but is gaining in momentum is the Veterans Day Parade. And that'll be November 11th. And do you have any details about the Veterans Parade?
Well, it starts at 11 a.m. It'll be downtown. And, I know that our ambassadors are planning to be in the parade. And, what better way to really honor those that have served for all of us. So that's a great thing.
I know they used to do this on a much smaller scale, and the parade was actually at the VA. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they've moved it to downtown means that they have the opportunity to expand it and have more detailed floats, and more people are actually able to see it, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. One of the things that we're going to try to work with veterans groups is to also push shopping at a veteran-owned business too. So if you can consider that, that's going to be a great opportunity, and we're going to really be building that up as well, Sanford.
Well, then, as we get closer to the holiday season, we start thinking about how some of the less fortunate among us may be having a little bit difficult time putting food on the table. And so typically around holiday time, you'll see food drives, and this is no exception. In fact, our radio station group does a food drive the weekend before Thanksgiving weekend. And so it'll be coming up on Saturday, November the 18th. We're actually going to be broadcasting live from 4 different Maverick locations, including the one here in Prescott. And we're going to be there from 10 till 1 on that Saturday, collecting non-perishable food items that then will make their way to local food banks. And so in each community that we appear, the folks that make their donations at that Maverick location will go to the food bank in that community. So we're going to be live in Prescott, Prescott Valley, in Chino Valley, as well as Cottonwood this year.
That is wonderful. I have a question. is it just food? Can they donate cash?
Oh, sure.
What we looking for this?
Anything of value, but please don't tow any of your non-functioning automobiles. We're a little bit overwhelmed when it comes to that. But yes, food and not so much clothing, but certainly personal items, like toiletries. And don't forget pets. Even pet food is welcome as part of the donation for our semi-annual food drive. We do this in May and again in November, and this one's coming up on November the 18th.
Wonderful. Then we have a traditional Flying High Turkey Drive. That's going to be at the Fry's stores in Prescott and Prescott Valley. And I know the chambers, we get involved in that a little bit. We get involved in all of these, so we'll be involved in the November 18th one as well. It's very important for all of us to take care of those that are in need, and so we feel this is part of our responsibility, and we really get the businesses and everyone involved in this, and we're getting very excited for all of these food drives because I think it's important to take care of those in need.
And then it's good to take time out and spend time with family and friends on Thanksgiving, and certainly an opportunity to reflect on the many blessings that we've had over the past year. We had a very difficult year here with regard to the fires and so forth, but our communities pulled their resources, pulled together, and did a wonderful job. We did not have the kind of disaster like they experienced up in Northern California, and thank goodness for that. But of course, our thoughts on this Thanksgiving are with all of our friends and neighbors around the country who may be in distress or may take the opportunity to actually bring their families together and enjoy a lovely holiday, because right after Thanksgiving, that's when the shopping starts.
Drum roll. Yes, and we were talking about that earlier. Obviously we kick it off on November 24th, which is the traditional Black Friday, and the Prescott Gateway Mall opens their doors at 6 a.m. And so we're excited about that. I am anyways.
Yes.
And then also we have the traditional Small Business Saturday as well. So that is very exciting, and that's where the Shop Prescott Start Here really can kick in too.
You mean this?
Yeah.
Shop Prescott Start Here?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about this later on in the show.
Absolutely.
But if you haven't seen this insignia, you will. We promise.
So Small Business Saturday is a national movement. It's started off with the American Express, but really the idea of it is to shop at a local mom and pop store, so make sure that you are a part of that. And that evening at 6 p.m. Is the traditional Prescott Downtown Partnership light show parade, which I understand is just outstanding. So
you bet.
It'll be great fun for that. And then the Smoke Eye Museum is having the Christmas Indian Art Market that whole weekend. And these are just little bitty highlights of what's going on during this time.
Well, and then one of the things that Sherry has done in her first year here with the Chamber is brought in some new events. And we're going to cap off November with another brand new event, one that really, it's kind of, we've been here as long as we have, it's kind of, well, why didn't we do that years ago?
Right.
And so getting a fresh pair of eyes onto our situation, there's a new event that's going to be coming up at the end of November.
It is. It's called the Grand Marshal Gala, and we'll be honoring the Grand Marshal, who is Tommy Meredith this year, and we'll also be recognizing all those that put in their dollars to help support all of these efforts, which we couldn't do it without them. So we're going to have the opportunity to celebrate the Grand Marshal for the parade, and then also all the sponsors. And that is November 30th from 6 to 9 at the Plaza View Ballroom.
Yeah, what a great idea, and we're looking forward to that as a precursor, of course, to the downtown Christmas lighting, which will take place on the first Saturday in December. It is acknowledged by the state of Arizona to be one of the signature events in the state. We won awards this past year for the just the whole, not just the concept, but the execution of the event, and it draws people from all over the state, if not all over the region. And so I know that, you kind of know about the courthouse lighting, but this will be the first time you're actually presiding over the courthouse lighting. It's a big responsibility.
It is. I take it very seriously. It's a tradition that I think is very important for us to make sure it goes off very well.
And our own DJ Phone will be taking care of things as the master of ceremonies. And I know former Senate President Ken Bennett will be there to tell the Christmas story. And a good time will be had by all down at the courthouse square for the courthouse lighting.
Absolutely.
And so with that, we're going to take a break, and then we will welcome our special guest, Cheryl Rolland from the Foothills Bank, to talk about the present and future of community banking, the way that Foothills Bank knows how to do it. So stay tuned. We are on the business beat for you here on your cable access channel.
Very good.
Welcome back to the Business Beat. I'm Sanford Cohen along with Sherry Heine from the Prescott Chamber. And joining us as our interview guest today is Cheryl Rolland from the Foothills Bank. She is the branch manager at Miller Valley and also the Director of Growth Strategies.
Ooh. There's a title for it.
So first of all, I know you've been in banking here in Prescott for a long time, and your new experience with Foothills Bank is that you guys have been acquired. So talk about the new company and what effect that has on Foothills Bank.
Absolutely. So we just had a merger that went through beginning of this year, and it was with a company called Glacier Bancorp. And Glacier Bancorp is housed out of Kalispell, Montana. And it is a bigger company that, if you think of it like a parent company that is the umbrella, and there's a bunch of little baby companies underneath it. We're one of their babies. We are one of 14 banks. We are the 14th bank that they have under their umbrella. And the benefit really for the customers that we have is really multiplied. Actually, a lot of it is better accounts, no fees, no charge, no paper statements, a lot of those types of products that have come into play that we didn't have before. And then also on top of that, the other thing is our lending capability. The capability to lend to one client. We had a certain dollar limit we were capped out at. So let's say you were a bigger company and we could not only lend $8 million to you. Well, now our lending capability is much bigger. We can lend up to $20 million per client. And that's really key when you have a company that owns multiple businesses under the same entity. So now we have the capability to lend more.
Now, Foothills Bank is considered a community bank. Talk about what that means, because when people think of banks, obviously they think of some of the larger names, but community banks are kind of similar but different.
They are. We have a lot of the same products. So a lot of times people will think on a community bank that we don't have everything that a big bank does, and we actually do. We have all of your online services. We have the remote deposit capability. We have everything a big bank does have as well. The difference, though, with the community bank is we have, especially on the lending side, it really kind of goes back to that, and also on the deposit side, but especially on the lending side, we have the capability to look at a loan product, whether it's consumer, commercial. We have the capability. It doesn't just go through a process and say, okay, decline, done, next loan. We actually look at those loans that are declined, and we look at a way to try to make that happen for the customer. And we try to look and see, is there a different way? Is there a different product? Is there a different way to make this happen? So it's really about the community and how we can help them succeed in their business.
Well, I know one of the things that Foothills Bank has been very involved in has been the Chamber of Commerce, and been very supportive.
Very supportive. We just had a wonderful seminar with the customer service.
Yes.
That went very well.
Yes.
And Foothills Bank has been supporting all the business educational seminars for the whole year, and among many other things things as well.
And I would say anyone who hasn't had the opportunity to go to one of those really needs to make the time to do it, because there's a lot of really good information that's out there. A lot of business partners that we have in the community have a lot of really good information in different areas of business. So I think they're really useful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see you out and about and your whole team being very involved in the community.
Yes.
Surely there's more things that you're involved in.
Absolutely. We do a lot of stuff. We have a lot of our staff are involved in a lot of different nonprofits. So this last year we did, I was a participant in the Boys and Girls Club for the Dancing for the Stars. We participate in the Big Brothers Big Sisters Gala, the Kiwanis auction, 4-H. I know there's a lot of kids that come to us for 4-H donations, and we support the kids, we support our seniors, we support just a lot of different things in our community. And again, going back to the community banking, that's a part of what we do.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. Well, we have some food drives coming up, so
Yes, absolutely.
help us spread
We'll
the word on
absolutely
that.
help you out. Yes, just don't put me in the big tower that has to get lifted on the turkey drive, because I'm afraid of heights. I can't do
I
that.
thought you already signed up for that.
I will be up there with sweaty palms. Hurry! Get me down.
It was so much fun to watch you dancing too. That was great, and I
Oh,
loved
it was such a
your
fun
video.
time.
We talked about that earlier, about the video that you made and
Oh my gosh, this
all
is
your
so
awards
fun.
when you were a young child.
Oh yeah, this is me being professional right now.
Great.
So, since you are the Director of Growth Strategies,
Oh, yeah.
what is your growth strategy for Foothills Bank now that this merger has been completed?
Absolutely. So we've got a lot of really good things happening right now. So our loan production office is completed. If it's going to be completed right around middle of November. So that will be completed very soon. And then also December, beginning of December, we've got an expansion out to Prescott Valley for a new branch. And the cool thing with that new branch is you're not going to see a teller line when you go into that branch. It is going to be more of a new traditional style that they're doing, where they're going to have whatever banker you get can do everything for you. They can do deposits, they can do new accounts, notaries, whatever you need to have done, they can do it all there at the desk. So you don't have to wait for a banker.
Well, what I notice is one of the trends that has been involved in banking nationally is there's been a tendency to go more towards automated tellering, where you literally either work online, or even when you go to the branch in person, you don't see a person. You literally walk in and all you ever deal with is a machine. And I would think that as a community banker, that probably is not part of your growth strategy.
You are so correct. As a matter of fact, we just had a system conversion in October go through, and part of that process was people coming in needing help with their online banking and having questions in regards to that. And we actually have someone in there with an iPad that's able to help with those questions that they have. So we're not going to send you to a computer. We're not going to send you to the little stand or the kiosk in the middle of the lobby. That's what makes us different. So yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think, our technology is there, but, it's still good old-fashioned one-on-one. People, all of us working together, banking together, and just working, seeing each other. That's all part of it.
It is. It's really a lot about relationship, and in a way I feel relationships, the word relationship is kind of overused in banking in general, and so I try to steer away from that in a way, because I feel it's overused, but really truly it is about the relationship. It's about more than relationship. It's about knowing who your people are and knowing what they're going through, knowing what their businesses have going on, knowing that, their aunt just passed away, and sending cards and showing compassion and actually remembering that they are people. And I think that's something that we'd really do well.
Well, this next question is one that I'm approaching with a certain amount of delicacy, but how many years have you been involved in banking in the Prescott area?
Oh my goodness. Okay, what year is this? 21 years it's been since I've done that. I started when I was 10. I would just like to point that out. So, I'm really only 31, so. But yeah, 21 years in this industry, and absolutely love it. Love it.
Well, and certainly as you look forward to the future, I think there is a rediscovery, if you will, of the human interaction in everyday transactions. And so that's why I really feel like community banking has a place that will endure, regardless of what the pundits may say that people are getting out of the process. I think you guys are absolutely opposite of that trend, and I see that as a positive.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. And I think one of the myths or stipulations that are out there that people are saying is that the younger generation, they're all electronic, they want nothing to do with it. And truth be told is they really are not.
Right.
We're seeing in our branch that that younger grouping of people 20 to 35, they're still wanting interaction. When they come in and they need a question on a loan answered, or they have questions about what type of loan to get, they still want to sit down and talk to somebody. They don't want to do it over the phone or electronically. So.
Well, congratulations on the merger and the expansion and the growth strategies and everything else. Cheryl Rolland from Foothills Bank, thank you for being our guest on Business Beat, the second episode of Business Beat.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Well, we've got a few more thoughts to share with you right after this. Back with some final thoughts here on Business Beat. First of all, we have Shop Prescott Start Here. This is the joint effort from the City of Prescott and the Prescott Chamber of Commerce. We are putting together a dynamic marketing campaign that will go on throughout the year to encourage people to spend their dollars here locally. Because again, every dollar that you spend here stays here and circulates 7 times. And if that first dollar gets spent on Amazon, it leaves the area and you never see it again. That doesn't help pay for parks or library or any other good things that caused you to move here in the first place. A couple other quick reminders. I know that there are no fire restrictions in the Prescott National Forest right now, but I think it's still just as important to remember to be very careful with fire. We've seen what happens in Northern California and also in our own Prescott National Forest when people aren't careful with fire, and it's a very important part of our economy, so be very, very careful out there. And then last but not least, on a personal note, just want to say thank you on behalf of everyone at Cattle Country Radio. This is our 10-year anniversary. And as the home of the world's oldest rodeo, to have the one and only classic country station, it's kind of nice when we put those two classic country events together.
Well, that is a special anniversary for you. How does it feel to be celebrating 10 years already?
It feels old. well, and our KPPV has been around for 32 years, so this was something that was we were really excited about being able to cross that 10-year margin, and it's really been fun.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you for really supporting the community. I know you've been very involved with that. Supporting all of the country, like bluegrass and rodeo and all of that. So
Absolutely.
Thank you for your support for that.
You bet.
And we just want to thank everybody for joining us again with Business Beat. Just another few reminders. First and foremost, please enjoy the Thanksgiving holidays with your family. Remember those food drives that we talked about earlier. And we still have tickets available for the Grand Marshal Gala. And put it on your calendar to come on down on December 2nd to the courthouse lighting, where you can enjoy the parade and the lighting of the trees and the celebrations that go on. And most importantly, you can have all your shopping and take care of all those fun things. So please remember to shop Prescott, start here, and just have a wonderful time.
And for more information, our website is prescott.org. And that's going to do it for our second edition of Business Beat. I'm Sanford Cohen, Board Chair of the Prescott Chamber, and this is Sherry Heine. She's the President and CEO of the Chamber. And we want to say thank you, and we'll see you next time on the Business Beat.